finer points when that comes. So I don't want health here anymore. So to expand off of Cassiopeia's question, just, I'm not saying one's better than the other, but let's just kind of see what can we do if my get description is here and I'm here. So get. So I can return get description. And then if I wanted to say string not format, all right, so I could say that I want everything in the game to follow this format. You were looking at blank, then blank being their personalized description, and then the health of that object, or the game object, right? And for making a player, I've got get description here. Which is name and player type. I guess you guys got to slow me down if I start going too fast or start jumping around in too many classes. So I've got this get description, but I've also got access to my action strategy, right? Which is great because the strategy pattern allows us to really swap around the behaviors pretty elegantly. So what if, instead of my action strategy, for my contract, my abstraction, I said every action strategy has to have a string get class description, takes in nothing, and then inside of my player, so remember my player is really my abstraction. My player, this class, is where I really bring all my other design patterns together. So I've got my my factory stuff and my strategy stuff and anything else that I want to do. This is really a place where I play around with it. So what if I said that, okay, well, for get description, what I really want to return is return action strategy dot get class description, right? Because instead of my abstraction, I don't want to see many magic strings because this isn't the implementation layer. This is really where I've decided to compose what a player is, right? So if we look through, now we've gotten through all the magic strings, minus this. That's fine, because it's a constructor. But it feels very clean. It feels very orderly. It's like a clean workshop. And now I'm going to the get class description. So if I hit build, what I'll see is that none of my classes implement this yet. So I'm going to each one of those. Okay. And then, as we're getting deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole, what's fun about this is, um, if you weren't here for the strategy pattern, I've set these stats. So an army vet, has a little more strength maybe than a medic, maybe a little less wisdom, right, than a politician. So a very physical thing, a good fighter, a tank. Um, and then I've decided, hey, this is going to be the cost of any of these moves or these actions. So to heal costs 3 because they're very just ineffective at healing, but they'll return 10 because while they're ineffective as an army vet, maybe they have high training, right? So they have a med kit. But so this is where the fun stuff comes in. I said it before. This is where you really get to go to a coffee shop or a game jam or something, and just hash out the details about the game engine, the game rules, and all that good stuff. So, but I bring that up here because I can say, Army vets are known for being tough and, I'll say tough. We'll keep it short for right now. Again, I'm not a writer. Army vets are known for being tough, right? Okay. So this is my basic Git class description for Army vets. Strophium says coffee shops are the best workplaces. I think they are. Okay, rant number 5 for the day. There's something to the creative process, and maybe it's not a coffee shop for you, but being able to context switch into a place where other people are working. There is, not to get too, I guess, new agey, but there is an energy to it, right? There's this, I'm here to do something, I'm sitting down to do something. It's really harkening to this idea that practicing is the meaningful act of doing. It's not just doing, it's saying, I'm going to sit down and accomplish something in a space that's conducive to that. So, yeah, I agree, Strophium. There's dozens of new coffee shops, and even if it's not a coffee shop for you, one of the joys of coding, I think, is or any hobby, is finding that special place, right, and adding that to like the tapestry of your life, and you can say, yeah, as part of my identity, I really enjoy going to place X and doing thing Y. Never underestimate how important that statement is for all the things that you love. Okay, in rant. Okay, so, but Git class description, what's fun here is I might start building something that's very, maybe here, I'm sorry, not in Git class description, in player. So when I say Git description, right now I'm just saying Git class description. But I might do something, say like var description is equal to string dot format. And I won't quite implement this yet, but I want to give an example of how once we've gotten to this place, we can really deep dive into a lot of really rich functionality for the game. So if I'm here, I might want to say that and we'll say var, say body. How do you spell physique? I have no idea to spell physique. Physique. I think that's it. All right. So we've got strength. So we can say, oops. Oh, we don't have it exposed. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Or do we expose it someplace else? Oh, it's on the actor. Oh, we're passing in the actor. Good stuff. So just to kind of go over that point. So it's a kind of nitty gritty point about C#, but when I instantiate my player, I'm passing in the actor and I'm setting these values. And so you might get tripped up because I'm not doing this by reference, but I am changing these values on the actor. So I won't spend too much time talking about that, but if I pass in something and I make a change to it, that change is going to be persisted to the object that was passed in. So I don't have to return actor. I don't have to make a change to return it. It's going to happen naturally. I can go a little bit deeper in that if you'd like, but just to kind of put a feather in your cap and just say, this is something people get wrong always. Always, always, always. People think that I need to return I actor, make my changes, send it back, and then apply, right? And I don't need to do that. Oops. Okay. So, here then, this dot strength is greater than 100. This is really just an example. Right, so now I've really layered this so that when I say look at player, based off of this get description kind of structuring, I could have all this information about their character, their build, maybe their intellect. Are they wounded, right? If the hit points are less than a certain percent, I can say that they're mortally wounded, they're lightly wounded. I can do a lot of fun things here that really give a flexibility and kind of like this organic pulsing to my game. So since we're just doing all this for fun, I'll go ahead and just leave that in. Tristan34 asks, when do you use the underscore naming convention? Great question. So again, part of your style, your personal style guide, use it whenever I'm talking about a private field. So it's a private field, I go ahead and make it an underscore, and then camel case. So I lowercase the first letter. Versus a property that's public, I don't use an underscore. Strephium says, or pass a pointer and reference it. That's interesting that it changes the values even though it's a copy. Agreed, absolutely. It's actually, and you wouldn't expect it. You're getting a little bit closer to the metal.